Welcome to Embody the Light with Gao. I'm Gao, your host. This space is for spiritual growth, self-connection, healing. Remember who you truly are, deep within. Here we talk about intuition, self-love, confidence, psychic and mediumship insights, and grounded life coaching tools to help you move through life with clarity and alignment. Take a deep breath. Breathe in and out. Soften your shoulders, and you're exactly where you're meant to be. Now, let's dive in. But before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss when any new episodes come out. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. And now let's officially dive in. So it's been a little bit since I released podcast episodes. It took a break. It was much needed. Previously, the show was called Level Up With Gao, and I felt called and that it was time to change the show name. Why did that happen, and why was it so important? Because there has been an evolution, transformation of my life and my soul purpose and my journey, and as well as how I want to show up every single day in the world, which was so important with the relaunch and the rebranding. And that's how we've gotten here. I want to share that's really important when you are feeling called to do something or feeling called to take a break from something, to follow that feeling. There's a reason why a break is needed. There's a reason why you may feel called to go to a place. I mean, there's going to be a connection that you're going to make, or there's going to be an experience that's going to happen in your life to help you along your journey. And I'm sharing that because I felt really called to take a break from the show. I did a couple episodes, I took a break, I came back, and it just didn't feel in alignment at the time. I think it's been maybe about a year actually since the last release of a podcast episode. And I want you to remember when you're feeling that in your heart and called to do something else or have that little break, to follow that and don't beat yourself up for feeling the way that you do. We're allowed to change our mind. We're allowed to change our routines. We are allowed to do whatever we want. So remember that. It was necessary to change the name of the show. It has gone through a spiritual awakening, yes, but also I have invested time into myself for my growth, and a lot of healing has happened in my journey. And you need time to integrate the new learnings, the new things coming up in your world and in your life. So it's really important to do what is best for you. Don't judge yourself so harshly. When I took a break, I was a little sad because honestly, I thought, there's people who are listening to the show and they're excited when new episodes come out every week, and the break was much needed. But we are back in it. There's so much knowledge that I have that I'm ready to share and to help you continue growing in your journey, but not just growing, as well as being in alignment and embodying who you truly authentically are within, and not falling to the pattern of comparison or what I should do, what I feel like I should wear, or I always say, what you're going to do with your hair, all that stuff in the society that we live in. It's, go, the next thing. And it's really important to embody who you are truly at the core and always show up with that energy. And that energy and being able to show up that way is what is going to bring those new connections and new opportunities and possibilities in your life. So, the decision to connect with myself and integrate all the healing I've been through was really important, so I can show up even better on the show, even better in my sessions, because we can learn, but it takes time for us to integrate the things we have learned and how we can show up with confidence and in our true authentic energy, as well as making decisions for ourselves and not being influenced by the society or other people, or maybe even sometimes people who may not have the best judgment, or sometimes we go to the people who maybe you want to give us the best advice, right? So, all right, let's dive a little bit more. This is a little bit of, I'll definitely share more. That's just a little cliff note, we'll say that, to get the episode going and moving along. But I think it's really important to first acknowledge as well that you are here. If you're here and listening to this episode right now, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I wholeheartedly can't wait to see where you go with your journey, to make the decision to grow in your own life, to start your healing journey, to embody who you really are, and to continue your personal development journey is a big one. So I think it's really important for us to take a moment to acknowledge yourself. And in this episode, we're going to dive into more of this too, what it really means to come home to yourself, what it really means to embody who you are. And we're going to dive more and more as in each and every episode. But this episode in particular, it's important to embody yourself at the core. And a lot of times people are like, what does that mean? Like, how do I do that? How do I show up as my true authentic self? And it starts with getting to know yourself. Okay, it starts with making time for yourself. It starts with asking yourself those hard questions. What direction do I want to go in my life? Who do I want to be, or who do I still want to be, right? Are these things that I'm doing part of the characteristics of my personality and soul that I want to continue doing? That could mean anything, your career, the relationship you're in, or friendships that you have, right? The people we spend the most time with, they shape our future, they shape our attitude, how we show up. And so it's really important to get to know yourself. And like, okay, is, pink still my favorite color? I'm saying that because I'm wearing pink at the moment. Is, the job that I'm doing still what I want to continue to do? But this rebranding has been a long time coming, and it's been a evolution of my journey, but as well as your journey. And I want to share all the things I've learned, all the new lessons, all the new experiences that I have learned and I have embodied. That's why I'm able to be here today to share it and to be my true authentic self, which is something I've always said, but we all been there, right? Where you can say something. Yeah, we can all say something, but where it really hits in the core is actually meaning it and feeling it in your heart, in your gut. So we're going to dive in this new show more about those things. If you have questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. I do want to share why the Level Up with Gao show name no longer fits who I've become. I was really big on leveling up, continue to learn, and sharing all my tips and tricks and nuggets, as I like to call them, with you to help you level up within your journey. And, it's been like shedding off old versions of me and roles and expectations and the pressure I've put on myself, not anyone else, but myself. I have very high expectations for myself and things I want to accomplish, things I want to do. So it's more about now embodying all those lessons that I learned. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to level up and learn new things. And maybe that means courses or reading books or mentors or coaches. It doesn't mean that that's going to stop, or learning from other podcast show. What it means is no longer focusing the main focus on just go, level up, let's go, right? And that is where my focus used to be. And I didn't actually really realize that until I took time to reflect. And I love leveling up and continue grow, but it's very important to level up, learn those experiences and lessons, and embody all of those lessons and really integrate it within your life, in your journey. So you can take everything you learn, all those courses and everything you've taken and books, and really truly learn from it, not just like quoting from it. Because I've been there too, where I was like, yeah, I know that book, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I remember going to that course or that conference and so-and-so said this, and, our mentor, and it was like fun and cool, right? To be within the group because you can all relate. But then I realized like, it's fun for the moment, but it means so much more when you embody like that lesson or lessons into your journey, into your life. So anyways, went kind of down a rabbit hole there. Felt that call to really share all of that. But yeah, so, it's important to embody all of your lessons and things that you have truly who you become, right? Versus just counting the achievements of, okay, I did this and this and this. Like kind of what I was like talking about. Like talking about, okay, I went to this course and I had this mentor and this and this. I had a year where I just was like, okay, I'm going to take this course and this course and this course and have this mentor and this mentor. And it became like almost like a game, not intentionally, kind of turned into that. And I had it in my notebook, right? And I was like, okay, this month and for this cost, I did this and this and this, right? And I was looking at it like a timeline, like, oh, look at my growth. I'm like loving it so tremendously. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. But it was so overwhelming because I learned so much in such a short time that I was like, oh my gosh, wait. I need to be able to integrate all of this, right? Which is really important for the embodiment part in our journey versus just counting our achievements, which you have to find the balance of both of that. All right. Embody the light means self-trust, trusting yourself, having the present to be there for yourself, being present for others, but for yourself first, making time for yourself and being in alignment, doing things that like fuel your soul, doing things that make you happy, not saying yes to things you don't want to do. No, instead of say no to things you don't want to do, say yes to the things that you do want to do, show up for yourself, right? That's what it means to embody the light, embody your light, right? The spotlight is yours. The stage is yours, not anybody else's. So stop letting people dim your light and step into that spotlight on the stage when it's yours. We're on our own journey. We all have our own stage. We all are the author to our own book in our journey. And it's time to stand strong and believe in that and know that, hey, my journey is mine and I'm proud of it. The good decisions, the bad decisions that you made, and everything in between, there's reasons why decisions were made. There's a reason why things happen, and it is okay. You learn from it, and then you move forward, and you embody lessons, and you continue learning. And remember, growth doesn't mean fixing yourself. It means remembering who you were, remembering where you used to be, and then celebrating where you have gone, your journey and where you are going, right? It's like a lot of times we're so focused about the next thing, the next golden object, and we don't take a moment to realize like, wait a second, I've done so much, but not to just count all those things of achievement to just celebrate yourself, but to take all those things you learn and truly integrate it and embody with it into your life. I'm going to keep saying that. And remember that who you used to be is not who you no longer are. And sometimes when you reflect, you may not like who you've become, but that is okay too, as in a sense, you can change. You can do whatever you want to in the future. Meaning, if you don't like who you become, then you can change and become someone better. If you don't like who you used to be, and you don't want to be that person anymore, you can change to become someone better. Not for someone else though. Remember, this is very important. This is key. To change for yourself, for how you want to show up in the world, how much you love yourself, and give yourself that self-love in the achievement, in the celebration, in the kudos. Be your own freaking cheerleader. Don't need a crowd to be like, yeah, you got this. No. You cheer on yourself, because at the end of the day, only you have to understand why you're doing X, Y, and Z and why it's important to you. For example, why you drive the car that you do, right? I drive the car that I do because I really freaking like it, right? I enjoy it. And some people are like, why are you driving a stick? Oh my gosh, traffic. Well, I really don't have to drive in a lot of traffic anymore, to be honest, which is amazing. I love it. So remember who you are in the core. And when you start to see who you are, as in where you're going, your journey, actually, hold on. Let's do a quick list, right? Write a list. I just had this thought. We're going to do this. Write a list of all the things you like about yourself. Write a list of the things you don't. And write a list of the things areas that you want to improve. right? We aren't going to know what direction we want to go or where we want to improve and X, Y, and Z if we don't take a time to reflect in our journey to see what it is that we want to do. So if you're feeling lost and like, how do I embody the light? I don't even like who I am at the moment. So what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do that? Well, do this little activity and take a look at your lists and see what you like, what you don't like, what you love about yourself, and also write down what new things have you learned within the last year or months or years, and have you actually embodied all those new things that you have learned. And if you haven't learned anything, that's okay too. Don't beat yourself up. Now is the time to start learning new things, way to improve, and what direction you want to go, and what it is that you want to do. But it's really important for you to take a moment right now and acknowledge everything in your life, your journey, the heartache, the struggles, the good stuff, and everything like that within. And that's something I really spent a lot of time doing and acknowledging, like, man, like I've been, through a lot of stuff in my journey and stuff that I just thought was just another day. And we play down a lot of times things we've accomplished in our struggles. And I think it's important and I feel like it's super important for us to acknowledge ourselves and get used to and comfortable celebrating ourselves and comfortable acknowledging things we don't know and things we would like to know and directions we want to go, right? Stuff like that. It's really gonna be such a fun journey, honestly. Like, I'm looking forward to what's gonna come. There's already been so many connections and new people that have come into my life of new lessons, perspective, and think about yourself too. What other, what connections have you made and people have come into your life that has like, wow, you know what? I never thought about it like that. Or, you know what? Wow. Like, I need to be a little more open-minded and listen to X, Y, and Z, stuff like that. So for example, when I started my spiritual journey, I was like hesitant to talk about it because I'm like, what are people going to think, right? I started my journey as a life coach because I wanted to help people. Honestly, that was my goal. I want to help people. I want to help the people that I want to help people in a way when I needed help, honestly, and I didn't know how to get help. I didn't know there was resources or anything, and I struggle. So it's really important for me to work through my own healings, and it's an ongoing process, okay? It was important to me to be someone to hold space for others, right? To be able to come and shine their light, and on the good days and the bad days, as well as shine the light on them is what I'm saying, to help them through their journey and remind them who they are. Right? Coming home to yourself means coming home to who you already are in the core, and embodying yourself and being proud of yourself and owning your good and your bad and in between, because we're all here having a human experience, meaning we're not going to have a perfect life. We're not going to have a perfect journey, and that is okay. There's no such thing anyway. So don't put that expectation, heavy expectations on yourself and high expectation on your shoulders, because then that's just not fair. I felt called to share that. But also on top of that, when I started my journey and I remember going to my first mediumship circle, I was so nervous. I thought nothing's going to come through. Like, oh my God, like, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing here? And this was like years ago. When I started doing this, start going into mediumship circles, having psychic medium different mentors actually, took different courses, multiple courses to learn how to connect better. And what I learned from all of these mentors and courses that I've taken, honestly, was that I wanted to do it in my own way. And, you can be taught like, oh, this is how X, Y, Z person does it. But you can take all the information that you learn from someone and do it in your own freaking way. That's the coolest thing. You can continue to learn and learn and learn and then do it in your own way. And that's what I had to learn in the last year, that do it in my own way, and I could change things up. So same goes for you. You can change things up, do things your own way. And if you don't like it, change it again. No one is saying anything has to be set in stone forever. That's the coolest part. And I've kept in touch with one of my mentors since he started mentoring me. And honestly, I can tell you from like the bottom of my heart, he's the most kind, loving, caring person I've ever met. Kindness. And he just oozes of authentic energy, good vibes, and just pure heart. And those are the people you want to work with. You want to work with someone who is authentic, who is pure, who means well, who has good intentions. And I worked with a bunch of different mentors, and I started to realize that through my journey, like, oh, this person is just trying to make money. Okay, this person actually truly cares. Yeah, there is a, money transaction involved, but it's not about that, right? It's about how they show up and the energy. So I want to share that with you too, as if you're wanting to choose to work with a coach, a mentor, or have a reading, like psychic life reading or a mediumship reading. Pick someone that you feel like you are called to the energy, right? That you feel like they're authentic and you feel like, something about this person calls me to them, right? Lean into that. And you might have some experiences that aren't so good. Honestly, I did have some mentors and I was like, well, I probably won't work with you again, kind of thing. But I did learn lessons as well, though. There's reasons why, the universe, like, and my spirit guides led me that way for me to learn from it. So don't beat yourself up if you pick someone you're like, oh man, no, I messed up. Like, no, I don't want to do it. It's okay. Hey, you learn the lesson. That's the most important thing, though. You have to learn the lesson so you don't make the mistake again. And then you evolve and then you move forward. But I would definitely share more about my journey and the different mentors and stuff like that I've had, but I want to just touch base on that a little bit because it's really shaped my future and brought me to where I am today. In starting with life coaching, as you've been following my journey for years, and then now last 2-3 years, bring on the psychic mediumship, and then doing life readings and connecting with loved ones for people and do readings, and as well as collaborating that or combining that, just probably a better word, with a life coaching. And I realized that I have had this gift my whole life. Okay? I have been tuning into people's energy my whole life and not realizing it because you don't know what you don't know, right? And also having spirits visit me my whole life, as well as receiving messages or downloads is what I like to call it as well, all the time. But when you don't have the awareness and you don't know what you don't know, you don't realize it. So like anything that we do in our life, it takes time and practice and to get better, right? Like you can be a natural basketball player, but you got to practice to be better. So every single one of us can increase our psychic abilities and learn as well how to connect to the other side and with our loved ones and do mediumship work. Some of us have it more naturally, like the gifts, and some of us don't. But that doesn't mean that you can't also learn how to do it as well if you want. I've met a lot of people who learn or want to learn how to connect to the other side, to connect with their loved ones, not so much do a reading. So if you feel called to do something like that too, do it. Do it and learn about it, and you'll be amazed by how much you can do. And you're not limited. Don't limit yourself. You're limitless. I like to say a lot because I truly mean that. We can do anything we want to do as much as we want and as little as we want. So don't forget that. This new podcast show and the episodes is a soulful podcast for spiritual growth, intuition, healing, and aligned living. And if this is in your world or alignment, it feels that if it is fitting, then make sure to follow and tune in for new episodes that we coming out every week like we used to do it. So I'm really excited to continue to dive in and to I would say brain dump. I used to say that a lot too if you it's making me giggle. Brain dump, but really share how for you and how I've learned to embody the new me. That's exactly what's coming to mind, and I wanted to share that as well. But let me know if there's certain topics that you want to cover or anything like that. Feel free to reach out to me at lifecoach@gaoperino.com or DM me or send me, a message or whatever you feel called to do as well. But I'm really excited to dive in more and more. But what I want to do before actually closing out this episode is to remind you that you are freaking beautiful, amazing, unique, exactly the way you are. And people come into your life for a reason. You're listening to this episode right now for a reason, as well as all the lessons that come into our world and into our life for a reason. Whether it's for a season, just like some people, they come into our lives for a season, a reason, and embrace it. Embrace who you are. Embrace and embody your life, the changes, the good and the bad, and everything in between. I also want to share that before we close this episode out, I want you to place a hand on your heart and take one slow breath. Let's do it together. Breathe in and then out. Do that as many times as you feel called to do it. Just a way to, hey, let's take all this information in. Let's take it in and embody it. Let's release anything that is not good for us, any of that anxiety, stress, and ask yourself, what did this episode awaken in me today? Journal it, say it out loud, record a quick voice memo if that helps. Some people I know, you don't want to journal. I know, I've heard it before. I don't want to write out. Okay, you don't have to, I'm not forcing you to. And trust what comes through. Feel free to share that with me, what comes through, right? Of how you're feeling, what you were able to take away from the episode, what awoken you up today, what felt like made you feel alive and good. And I want to also share a few affirmations for you to take along your journey and your day. If you're listening to this in the morning, middle of the day, at night, or we listen to it, whatever time of the day, does not matter. Remember, I choose to trust myself. I honor my intuition. I allow clarity, healing, and confidence to unfold naturally. I embody my light fully and unapologetically. I struggle saying that. I apologize. I embody my light fully and unapologetically. Took me a minute there. This is real life. So I was like, wait, I know how to say this. Well, hold on. We're going to do a mini collective oracle card reading. The messages you may need to hear today, right now, in this moment. And then we're going to close out this container. So I have my inner child oracle deck here, and we're going to pull, I feel called to pull 2 cards today. So let's see what messages you need to hear today to help you along your day and your journey, to remind you of who you truly are within the deep core. Okay, let's see. This is number 19. It is never truly the end. Beloved, in this, everything will be okay. Look at this card. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful light coming in and kind of matches my outfit. Did not know that was going to happen. But Spirit comes through and Spirit speaks. So I feel called to tell you that no matter what you're going through, if you're struggling right now, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, it's never the end, and to keep going, everything's going to work out. As long as you believe in yourself and you believe that you are going to figure it out, because guess what? You figured out life all along and you're going to continue to. So let's pull one more. All right, listen, your inner child has something to say. Here's the card. Absolutely beautiful. The card is a little child with angels and flowers on a crown, reminding you to listen to your inner child. Your inner child will remind you the fun that you need in your life right now, the activity, maybe coloring, drawing, something fun. Go to the playground, go on a swing. I used to love that as a kid, actually. I went on a swing a few months ago when I was in Arizona, and it was just so much fun. It just brought me back. But then I also realized that now that I'm older, I'm kind of afraid of heights. And I didn't describe fully the last card, so I'm going to show it again for anyone who's watching the video, but also anyone who's listening. So the card is, it is never truly the end, right? It has a path of rocks, and it's going up towards the light. And there are flowers, and it's beaming of a light at the end of the path. And there's fun colors of purple, and almost remind kind of like Avatar, to be honest with you. but it's absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to describe that so you kind of get the full vibe. Those are the 2 cards for you today. Just a quick mini oracle card reading for you to help you along your journey. Now remember to subscribe to the show. I appreciate you and thank you for being here. And if you want to get a more in-depth oracle card reading, you can book by clicking the link below or going to my website of www.gaopareno.com. If you want to book a reading, if you want to book a life coaching session, check out my website if you have any questions, or if you want to look into my other services. Also have a free journal available on my website for you, a journal prompt that is, as well as my other podcast episodes are out there. Or if you want an email reading or anything like that, feel free to check out my website. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at lifecoach@gaopareno.com. Also, feel free to sign up for my newsletter by going to my website as well. Send out tips and tricks through my newsletter as well to help you along your journey. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to be back for us to continue this journey and to continue sharing all of the stuff and the knowledge, honestly, that I've learned. It's been quite a journey, but absolutely beautiful journey. I appreciate you so much. And I love every single one of you for being along this journey with me. I'm proud of you. I can't wait to see what happens in your journey. So keep going, keep showing up. I believe in you, and continue to be uniquely you and continue to embody your light and keep shining bright. And I'll catch you in the next one.